Ladies and gentlemen, hello again, and welcome to F-Secure Species 21. My name is Magnus Lindqvist. I call myself a disrupted futurologist, and I'll be your host and moderator this year. And what a fantastic show we have lined up for you. You will hear case studies from around the world. There'll be a panel, and of course, the mighty Mikko Hyppönen. And we're coming to you this year from a very special place. I'd like to bid you welcome to the magical stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for F-Secure Species 21.
Promise you won't let me drown.
Last year, we met F-Secure's new leader. He's here today to kick off the day, so give your remote version of a round of hands for Mr. Juhani Hintikka.
Thanks, Magnus, and welcome everyone. I'm amazed how many of you are online to hear again our news about us, our operator business strategy and products, but especially also to learn from each other and get interesting case studies presented. This is only my second species, but my experience in the telecommunication and service provider industry goes back more than 20 years. In my previous role as Comtel's CEO, I worked with all the big global brands in this industry and have followed the evolution of the telco business very closely. I also know that looking for growth opportunities, cost pressure, and customer churn are ever present in this industry. So when I joined F-Secure, I was very impressed with how the service provider team has been creating value for you and your end customers with a unique approach, a unique privacy and security portfolio, and a unique business service offering. I'm very happy that here at F-Secure, I can continue working with you to create new monetization strategies and develop innovative business models. With the pandemic still persisting around the globe, never has there been a moment before when our purpose to build trust in societies and to keep people and businesses safe appeared as compelling and clear. At F-Secure, we constantly strive for a better, safer digital world everyone can enjoy fearlessly. As a CEO, it makes me very proud to see that our efforts to lead tech and service innovation in the cybersecurity industry get awarded regularly. With you and for the service implementations we realized together, we won several industry awards last year. Earlier this year, our leading approach in leveraging swarm-based AI was rewarded, and for the first time ever, we won AV-Test's prestigious awards for both best protection and best performance. No other security vendor can show the same consistent track record. Our technical and human skills are truly among the very best in this industry. We want to continue this path of success with you. Collaboration is key when fighting online criminals and protecting people and businesses. F-Secure wouldn't be where it is today without you, our service provider partners, and we want to continue to be the best company to partner with for our joint business growth. With that in mind, I'll hand over to Christian Järnefelt to tell you what's been cooking in the consumer security business unit.
Thanks, Juhani. I'm so happy to have you all joining our species event today. The last year has been exceptional, and during these difficult times, lockdowns and move to complete remote working, good and secure connectivity has been more important than ever. Operators have had a pivotal role in keeping their customers, their employers, and altogether societies up and running. And now, as the vaccines are out, and as there is a line of sight to the end of the pandemic, it is quite certain that this new normal will not get back to the old, But we will see remote working staying at a much higher level than it was 15 to 16 months ago. So as a side effect to the misery, the world made a step change in how we and businesses and societies work. Now, let me give you an example. In January last year, doing Sense router security demos to you remotely would have been considered to be difficult and hence a very bad idea. Now it's just plain normal. So we have all developed our ways of working, and our own employee surveys show that almost everybody wants to work more remotely, and some prefer even moving to fully remote mode. Bad actors have not been resting either. In fact, consumers experienced around 20% more cybercrime last year versus the year before. We are proud to have supported you in providing this secure connectivity, and as a result, saw 6% revenue growth for consumer security last year as a whole, followed by very solid 8% growth in the first quarter of this year as well. This proves that reliable, fast, and secure connectivity for the home is in high demand and will also remain a growth business, as working from home will stay on a high level also in the future. Now, what does that secure connectivity look like going forward? We continue our journey to provide holistic protection for consumers with a converged user experience. We have already combined security and privacy with Safe and Freedom VPN into a single total app. And this year, we will be adding ID protection to the mix. And later on, connected home security with Sense. With this simplification of bringing all capabilities into a single modular offering, we want to address both the consumer needs for ease of use, but also, as the only service provider first security company, we want to make it easier for you, our valued partners, to take your chosen proposition to your customers. This presents a great growth opportunity for you, as we can see that consumers are willing to pay up to 50% more for a holistic all-in-one security on top of internet security safe today. Also, our surveys show that 60% of the end users would like to buy their security from their operators. So operators have a great opportunity to increase their market share versus the other channels. I am so happy to see so many service providers already on this expansion journey with the combined security and privacy. And with ID protection that we launched last year, already 11 partners are live and a further 9 going live soon. Also, with router-based connected home security Sense, we have been supporting your strategy to strengthen the whole home proposition, be it integrating the functionalities into your app or combining them with Wi-Fi management. Our unique approach with our strong focus in your business outcomes is based upon our thinking that only those end customers that are using the products get the value, and active customers have the highest NPS and customer satisfaction and retention. With this approach, we can deliver you value that is enabling our mutual long-term success. With our strong business process capabilities, we have had great success increasing your activation rates last year. That is just fantastic. Furthermore, we have made it easier for your end customers to take security into use. For example, our router-based security Sense can be automatically activated for your customers, and the same goes for ID protection. We can add your subscribed customers for identity monitoring without the customer needing to do anything. Today, providing the right solution to support your strategy is all about flexibility and collaboration. It is about collaboration with you, our service provider partners, and increasingly more about collaborating with other technology companies to deliver your chosen seamless proposition. We are happy to announce that we have joined up with the DNS network security vendor Whalebone to provide base-level security with easy adoption for your customers as the third layer in our 3-layer cybersecurity offering, complementing our endpoint and router security layers. In addition, we are providing a holistic solution together with smart Wi-Fi management in the connected home space with our partner AirTies, as well as partnering with several router vendors and other industry ecosystem partners to simplify the implementation. We will talk about the benefits of collaboration more with our partners later on in the event. So great to have you with us. Let's have a great event today.
Thank you, Krisu. It sounds like there's a lot of exciting things coming our way in the coming year. Don't forget to ask questions. Do it in the chat box, and if for some reason your question doesn't get answered today, rest assured that the F-Secure team will do all in its path to answer it in the coming few days. It's time for our first case study at Species 21. It comes from Hong Kong Broadband, a relatively new member of the F-Secure family that have in the past year introduced safe, ID protection, and VPN all in one go. So here to tell us more about the learnings from that introduction, I give to you, from Hong Kong Broadband, Mr. Rex Hui. Take it away, Rex.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rex from Hong Kong Broadband. I'm responsible for the product development and the management role in residential market. Let me do a quick introduction for Hong Kong Broadband Networks, HKBN. HKBN actually is the second largest telco in Hong Kong. We are providing both enterprise and as well as the residential market solutions. In residential market, we do have almost 900,000 households using our product, our broadband, and which is one of the few families in Hong Kong using our services. And also with the acquisition of in the past year, we have New World Telecom as well as WTT. We come up also in the second largest telco in Hong Kong in the enterprise market as well. Right now, we have about 100K enterprise customer and providing all sorts of different enterprise solutions. So what we do actually in the consumer or residential market side, as you know, basically for Hong Kong or for the whole market, in the last year situation, in the pandemic situation, broadband becomes a more important in the customer service. We do provide all sorts of different broadband, mobile, entertainment, and also a lot of products as well. People demanding on the broadband, on the bandwidth, as well as the reliability, but at the same time that people will also have asking for a lower price of this. So definitely the portfolio gives us to a really a better position, and how we can consolidate all the services in a single bill is our advantage from the telco. From our residential business, we cover all the different kind of network service as well as the bundle service. We call it infinite pay. Definitely for telco, we continues to expand our coverage and as well as increase our speed. We also providing the 2 gigabit per second broadband right now. It's a fiber to the home. And together with the home gateway, we provide the in-house Wi-Fi services as well as security. Right now, broadband become the lifeline for everyone, particularly in the last year pandemic situation. People will do the work from home, and also kids are doing the remote classes as well. So broadband become very important. So security, we think that this is a very important factor come in, and that's we launched with F-Secure last year on all the products. Apart from the connectivity, we provide different kind of services, including the smart home, which is the HKBN Home, entertainment from Joox on the music, Netflix on the video, as well as the local content from TVB. We do all mobile services as well, and we partner with all the major operators in Hong Kong and provide different all choices of plans. Last but not least, the digitalization is one of my key strategy that we need to provide more data and also applying new technology to serve our customer better. For example, my HKPN platform is our app platform that to serve the customer with all the different service support, as well as the latest information and offers to the customers. Let's move on to what we have been done with F-Secure to launch the products. First of all, we see that definitely sales engagement is the most important thing to start with. And apart from normal like the sales incentive plan and the sales training, definitely we need all the sales to engage and love it. So we got all the sales to install the app, install the service, and to use it. And this is the most effective way for them to understand the product and how they see the benefit of the whole services. The right side you can see not just on the training and also the trials, but also we do all sorts of internal promotion. We post all the posters and also all the information inside the office of the sales call center. So this is what we can help them to remind them on this service and as well as the benefit and the features. After the sales engagement have been done, we do a wide range of market awareness when we've launched in Q4 last year. Definitely all sorts of different digital news, Facebook posts, or with EDM, and also statement to our customer and all the posts in different box. But the most important thing is also we do not just on the online, but also offline. Like for example, we do all the TV show and also the TV commercial. The one we did is we have the TV editorial. We show the customer as a true case how people are leading the information from the social media and how the F-Secure products can help in this case. This is very effective. This is a mass communication through the TV channel and let people understand what is it. And also on the right-hand side, you can see my HKPN app. Because we have been using this digitalization for a few years, and we got about 80 to 90% of the customer already installed the app. So this is a very effective way to have our own customer communication to let them know and also offer some of these services to them to engage them. After we have launched and also different kind of promotion campaign, product education definitely is the most important thing to do it right now. We do different posts on the social media and provide the information to the customer for the product features and also benefit from different angle. It can be award from the F-Secure and also different tips for the customer when they're doing like work from home and also how to prevent some ransomware and also to prevent some personal data leakage in the internet. So this is what we need to do continuously, and people will have understand better on the choices of the products. Once we have all the promotion and all the education, we see that how the market's going. First of all, we see that the endpoint protection definitely is the most easiest way to communicate with the customer because the market actually have different choices for the customer, and customer have the understanding about the endpoint protection. However, this market is very crowded and they have a lot of choices. So that's why our focus right now is to do more product and branding awareness, and not just for the online, but also we see that offline channels are also very important, that they see other brands in the market, and then we need to tell them F-Secure products are actually in the market, and then we are having good product and good features. And what we see the identity protection is the coming demand. What we will see in the past few months, most security events get the customer to aware the importance of the privacy and also the data protection. In this kind of situation, we try to promote more and more on the IDP. But customer education definitely is one of the most difficult things to do. and the customer can understand what we can provide and also what is different from the endpoint protection. This is my last slide of the presentation. I'm happy to share with you what's been done so far and what happened in the Hong Kong market. Definitely, I'm more happy to learn from you guys and in the other markets. Thank you.
Thank you, Rex. Sounds like there have been lots of learnings made and more to come from Hong Kong Broadband. Now, case study number 2 comes to us from VOO in Belgium, where Christina Zanchi, the Chief Commercial Officer, will tell us about the introduction of VOO Internet Security Plus. Christina, welcome to Species 21.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me here today. I'm very, very excited to be part of this international event. And I'm extremely proud to announce this wonderful, complete, exhaustive protection solution that we have launched in Belgium. Maybe a couple of words about VOO. VOO is the leading cable company in the southern part of Belgium, in Wallonia, and in some parts of Brussels. We are a 4P player, so we offer internet, TV, fixed line, and mobile. And maybe some numbers for you. As of this month, we we exceeded 1.5 million households in Belgium. 65% of our customers do have a 2P, 3P, or 4P subscription. And over half of them, so 54%, have a 3P subscription, which means that the bundles subscription are very important also in Belgium. I don't know how many of you speak French in the audience, but you should know that VOO, it's written V-O-O, as you have seen in the logo, but it pronounces like vous, like in the French word for you. And that is actually, that well summarizes our why. So vous d'abord, you first. And that's exactly what we want to do also with this product. So we really want to be part of the family in the sense that we want to offer care and protection for our internet clients. Security is now a major issue for all the people around the world. And we as internet provider, we have the obligation to provide simple and effective tools to allow our customers to navigate safely on their tablet, on their phone, and on their computer. This is where the partnership with Secure comes into play. You should know that I just joined the company 9 months ago, but the relationship we built with F-Secure since 2012. So next year we will celebrate 10 years. And certainly we will never be able to launch this very good product without the expertise and the collaboration of F-Secure. I've been in the internet business for over 10 years now, and sometimes I don't have all the answers. Even my nephews and nieces, they ask me, why do we need to have this security on the internet? It's so complex. And indeed, it is complex. The threats are real. I mean, there are so many sites, so many websites that are hacked every day. So we do have a role to play. It's like a battlefield, we as an internet provider, we do have to take up our role, and this is exactly what we're going to do and what we have done with this breakthrough solution. VIS stands for VOO Internet Security, and it has been in Belgium for years now. But we have evolved it. We have launched a new version just to meet the new customer needs. As you know, COVID has impacted the world. We have been in lockdown for almost a year in this part of the world, which means that customers needed more performing internet. That means also a more secured internet. And in Italian, there is a way of saying c'è sempre tanto da fare. Yes, there is a lot of things to do. And the tendency we have as chief sometimes is to always jump on commercial activities, marketing activities, and put everything that is security a bit aside. Well, that's not possible anymore. This is really on the top of our list. The security of our customer has become certainly among the top 3 priorities of our company. Our response to these evolving needs is one unique product, 3 solutions under one umbrella: VIS, VOO Internet Security Plus. An antivirus software on both computers and mobile devices, a password manager where one can create, record, save, and secure all their passwords and all their devices. An ID protection tool that protects them from risks linked to personal information sharing online. With VIS Plus, VOO is the only Belgian operator who offers a real complete solution to protect customers when they navigate on the net. Customers can use them on whatever devices they want, up to 12 different devices. And I'd like to compare that to a sort of a family insurance, a family insurance against the internet threats. You have all seen on the news how many companies have been victims of security breaches, from Zoom to Facebook. You have all read what's happening around us, and this is not to be underestimated. That's why we have added the ID protection tool, which is really a feature of the new VOO-IS Plus that we really want to focus on. With the help of F-Secure, we are educating and we want to educate our customers to verify whether their personal data is being exposed online. And we have created a very simple online tool where they can really check and see if for example, their email address has been exposed. VOO Identity Scanner has already helped thousands of Belgians identifying whether their personal data was exposed online. And actually, the beauty of this tool is that we don't only show them, but we tell them also what to do. Thanks to the password manager feature, we allow them to store their password in a very safe and secure environment, and then we can make them available to them when they need it. This offer is really a joint venture between VOO and F-Secure. It would have never seen the light without the amazing expertise of F-Secure. And really, your contribution has blown us away, specifically IT operations, process, testing, and app stores management. We've just released two big things: the updated VOO Internet Security and the new application, including ID protection and password protection. So today, we are the only national operator providing an end-to-end and a super complete security service. This makes us very, very proud, and that would have never been possible without F-Secure. So thanks a lot. I hope we will have a long, long relationship ahead of us, and I wish you a wonderful event.
Thank you, Christina. Very interesting new proposition Christina described for us. Now we're moving to Fnac Darty in France, where Emeric and Mathilde will tell us how Fnac Darty used identity protection as a differentiator. Emeric and Mathilde, bienvenue to Species 21.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Emeric Darlincourt. I'm in charge of subscriptions for the Fnac Darty group in France. And I'm supported by Mathilde Fraisse, product manager in my team on multimedia services.
Hi, everybody. I'm very pleased to be here with you.
Thank you. In order to make you discover our beautiful French language, I suggest we switch to French. It will be easier to understand and it will relieve me too. Donc, je suis ravi d'être parmi vous virtuellement aujourd'hui. Si je devais vous présenter très rapidement notre groupe, Fnac Darty, nous sommes un leader européen de la distribution de biens culturels, de loisirs, de produits techniques, d'électroménager, avec plus de 900 magasins dans le monde, dont 440 Darty et plus de 200 Fnac en France, 210 Fnac en France. Et nous comptons près de 25 000 collaborateurs dans le monde. Nous sommes en France le deuxième acteur du e-commerce et cette position repose sur un trafic web très important sur nos sites Fnac et Darty, avec 44 millions de visiteurs uniques cumulés en moyenne par mois. Enfin, cette forte activité sur le web couplée à un maillage très fin du territoire avec nos magasins nous permet finalement de créer une forte synergie entre nos magasins et le web et nous permet ainsi d'être le premier acteur omnicanal en France. Cette proximité avec nos clients et la confiance que nous accordent ces derniers nous permettent aujourd'hui d'avoir près de 9 millions d'adhérents à notre programme de fidélité dans le monde, dont 8 millions en France. La force de notre groupe, c'est aussi notre offre de services unique et inégalée. Nous accompagnons depuis des années nos clients avant, pendant et après l'achat, avec des conseils, de l'assistance pour leur permettre de profiter pleinement de leurs produits et des offres, des services choisis. Nous avons une gamme de services très large pour répondre à tous les besoins des clients. Notre forte expérience sur les services nous a permis d'aller plus loin et nous avons su développer notre expertise à opérer nous-mêmes d'autres services et en développant nous-mêmes nos propres services en marque blanche notamment, en particulier autour des services par abonnement, en pilotant nous-mêmes la gestion de l'abonnement, l'activation, la facturation et même la rétention. Nous collaborons avec notre partenaire F-Secure depuis plus de 15 ans, avec qui nous avons beaucoup travaillé et avec qui nous avons beaucoup fait évoluer notre offre. Dans un premier temps, nous avions lancé une offre en prépayé, puis une offre par abonnement, ce qui nous a permis de fidéliser nos clients et construire une vraie relation de confiance avec eux dans la durée. Notre best-seller avec F-Secure, avec notre partenaire, en multimédia aujourd'hui, c'est un bundle distribué aux couleurs de Fnac Darty dans nos 2 enseignes, le pack Sérénité. On y retrouve à l'intérieur Fnac Darty Sécurité, une solution de cybersécurité fournie par F-Secure. Elle contient un antivirus, mais pas seulement, puisqu'elle intègre une solution d'anti-phishing, de protection bancaire, du contrôle parental, ainsi que d'autres fonctionnalités. C'est finalement la première clé d'entrée pour proposer le pack à nos clients et transformer l'achat. La deuxième application, également fournie par F-Secure, c'est un gestionnaire de mots de passe qui permet de générer et de mémoriser à notre place tous nos mots de passe. Finalement, pour se prémunir contre le piratage. C'est un seul mot de passe à retenir, celui de l'application, et ainsi oublier tous les autres ensuite. Et nous avons également un cloud hébergé en France, qui est un vrai outil de fidélisation de nos clients. J'évoquais tout à l'heure un best-seller, car cette offre finalement répond à un vrai besoin client qui nous permet aujourd'hui d'activer un nouveau client toutes les 6 minutes. J'ai bien dit toutes les 6 minutes. C'est une offre historique au sein du groupe. Le pack Sérénité, c'est finalement un indispensable pour les acheteurs de PC, une exclusivité Fnac Darty qui a su séduire nos équipes et nos clients. Je laisse à présent la parole à Mathilde qui va vous expliquer pourquoi nous pensons qu'il fallait aller encore plus loin.
Merci Emric. Fort de ce succès, nous avons voulu développer l'offre sur le rayon téléphonie. En effet, nous sommes tous aujourd'hui de plus en plus connectés à Internet avec nos téléphones et du coup, le besoin de protection est bien réel. En plus de ça, il faut savoir qu'en France, Fnac est le premier revendeur de smartphones. Nous avions donc une vraie légitimité à adresser ce segment de clientèle et avec un service qui répond à un besoin identifié. Cependant, nous sommes vite heurtés à une réalité. Dans l'imaginaire collectif, le virus informatique ne concerne que le PC, ça n'existe pas sur les smartphones. Dans les faits, l'offre existante n'a pas su séduire nos clients. Pour preuve, notre taux d'attache est quasiment nul sur smartphone. Nous avons donc commencé à réfléchir à une offre plus adaptée à nos clients smartphones et pour ça, nous avons pensé usage. Que fait-on avec nos téléphones? Alors certes, nous passons des appels et envoyons des SMS, mais encore. Avec nos téléphones, nous nous connectons sur Internet et plus particulièrement sur les réseaux sociaux. Mais les données qu'on y partage sont-elles bien en sécurité? Les entreprises sont des cibles de choix pour les hackers car elles disposent d'une énorme base de données utilisateurs. Mais elles ne sont pas infaillibles et peuvent parfois avoir des brèches de sécurité. Avec nos téléphones, nous faisons également des achats en ligne. Sur la plupart des sites, nous sommes invités à enregistrer nos coordonnées bancaires pour gagner du temps. Mais encore une fois, ces sites ne sont pas invincibles et peuvent être la cible de hackers. Et finalement, notre portable, c'est aussi notre appareil photo. Nous prenons énormément de photos et avec les évolutions technologiques, leur qualité est toujours meilleure, ce qui fait de beaux souvenirs qui prennent de plus en plus de place sur notre téléphone. Les espaces de stockage sont limités et vite saturés. De plus, le mobile étant un appareil nomade, nous ne sommes pas à l'abri d'un accident. Un Français sur 2 a déjà perdu ou s'est déjà fait voler son téléphone et avec lui, tous les précieux souvenirs qu'il contient. C'est de ces constats qu'est né le pack Sérénité Smartphone, une offre spécialement conçue pour les utilisateurs mobiles. Elle contient 2 applications, Fnac Darty Cloud avec 100 Go de stockage, qui permet de libérer l'espace de stockage sur le téléphone et de ne plus jamais perdre ses plus beaux souvenirs. La deuxième application, et c'est la vraie innovation de ce pack, c'est l'application Fnac Darty Identité qui est fournie par F-Secure. Elle contient 2 fonctionnalités indispensables. La surveillance du web, qui permet de scanner le web et le dark web pour surveiller qu'aucune donnée personnelle du client n'a été compromise. L'application vous alerte lorsqu'une fuite est détectée et elle vous donne des conseils personnalisés pour y remédier. La deuxième fonctionnalité, c'est le gestionnaire de mot de passe. C'est le même que l'on a déjà dans le pack Sérénité, qui sert de fil conducteur à nos offres. Elle permet de créer un mot de passe unique et hyper sécurisé pour chacun de nos comptes et prévenir le piratage de nos données. Avec ces applications, nous allons beaucoup plus loin que la protection de l'appareil. Avec Fnac Darty Identité, nous accompagnons notre client sur le risque à l'utilisation du smartphone. Nous passons de la protection de celui-ci à la protection de l'identité numérique et à la protection du propriétaire du téléphone. Nous avons pour objectif d'avoir une dynamique identique avec l'offre Sérénité que celle que nous connaissons sur le rayon micro-informatique.
Waouh! Et maintenant, notre travail est loin d'être terminé puisque nous avons encore de beaux projets à mener. Le premier, c'est d'accentuer notre travail de pédagogie auprès de nos clients. C'est notre devoir de les conseiller, de les sensibiliser aux risques cyber, parce que c'est encore mal connu et on a besoin de les accompagner avec des offres adaptées. Pour en assurer le succès, nous devons aussi réussir à construire une expérience web identique à l'expérience magasin. Et enfin, nous devons travailler autour du discours responsable de notre offre. Nous n'y pensons pas suffisamment et pourtant c'est un sujet au cœur des priorités de nos clients, mais aussi de notre entreprise. Nous avons une offre avec beaucoup de potentiel pour aider nos clients à devenir éco-responsables. Il nous faut travailler davantage la communication et l'awareness de nos clients. En protégeant les appareils de vos clients, vous les accompagnez autour de la durabilité de leurs produits et lutter pour une consommation plus éco-responsable. Il ne me reste plus qu'à tous vous remercier pour votre attention et j'espère à très bientôt pour partager de nouvelles success stories. Merci à tous.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Mathilde and Emeric. What an amazing presentation. It's all about protecting your digital identity. Now we're going to Vietnam, where Hoang Viet Nam, CEO of FPT Telecom, will tell us about how they launched Sense Wi-Fi router security and the importance of succeeding together. Welcome, Hoang Viet An.
Hi everyone, my name is Viet Anh Hoang. I'm CEO of FPT Telecom, the leading CSP in Vietnam. Today, I'm very pleased to be here to introduce with you about our own company, as well as our experience in working with F-Secure so far. So I'm gonna run through a quick introduction about our company and why we started the collaboration with F-Secure, how it worked in reality in Vietnam, and the lesson we learned from working with F-Secure so far. Last but not least, how we look forward to the future. So first and foremost, FPT Telecom is one of the subsidiary companies under FPT umbrella. FPT is the biggest IT and telecommunication conglomerate in Vietnam. We've been doing business over the last 33 years. And for now, we are leading in ICT in Asian region. Currently, we have presence across 26 countries around the world with 37,000 staff. We are working mainly in 3 areas: software services, telecom services, and education services. So in these pictures, FPT Telecom, we've been doing business in Vietnam over the last 23 years, mainly providing the internet connectivity to the households, providing the content, as well as the serving for the enterprise market, services like a data center, list line, and security. We've been nominated and awarded by IDG for 3 consecutive years as the best ISP in Vietnam for 2018, 2019, and 2020. Our principle for the growth is to bring more and more amazing experience to the customers. So back to the context internet in Vietnam. The internet in Vietnam started here since 1997. But over the last 24 years, we've been facing with a lot of trouble and challenges, namely risk for the internet security, the demands of the parent control rising up rapidly in Vietnam. And last but not least, there are a number of security software in place, but it's very costly in install and maintain in Vietnam. In that picture, FPT Telecom, as of now, we occupy 25% of the market share in internet market in Vietnam. And we really want to bring more advanced technology to make us more competitive in the market. So we feel very thankful for the chance to know and collaborate with F-Secure so far. Together, we have been working very aggressively and defining the product we call F-Safe. Together, we have planned to launch in Vietnam. So F-Safe is the product to be integrated directly to the user's modem at the households. And we also customize the user interface to adapt with Vietnamese customer behavior. So we start with two main concerns of the customers. Number one, how I can protect the data in my laptop and my PC when I get online. And the second one, how can I protect my kids from the internet risk? So in order to do that and comply with our philosophy, continuously bring more amazing experience to our customer, we decided to launch F-Safe product in Vietnam, the very first integrated software, security software in the customer modem. So in order to do that, we've been working very closely with F-Secure to prepare for the launching event. We start first with the concept, how best approach the audience and the customers. So we decided to combine between the trendy music, which is the rap, very popular in Vietnam, and standing our message, which is how much you can secure your connectivity. So in order to do that, we already invite the #1 producer in Vietnam, Hoa Kim Tuyên, #1 rapper in Vietnam, Big Boy, and #1 dancer group, ST319, to join this event. And we even create a specific song, rap song for this event, talking about F-Safe product as well as how we together can protect customers when they get online. So for this song and performance, we already got 20,000 engagement as well as the 4 million views so far.
FPT, lưới này an toàn internet sạch, vô tư lướt web lo chi, bao nhiêu hacker đây thì cũng tạch, chẳng cần lo thông tin cá nhân bị đánh cắp lộ tài liệu đâu, chẳng sợ bị đánh cắp mật khẩu có F-Safe giờ làm gì được nhau. What dữ liệu an toàn, giải trí an toàn, thanh toán an toàn, nhanh nhưng an toàn, internet FPT, lướt net an toàn, internet FPT, lướt net an toàn.
We also created the social community to interact and answer a lot of questions from community. And as far as you can see, we got more than 100,000 engagement as well as more than 1 million views so far. By 23rd of December last year, 2020, we officially launched the F-Safe product together between F-Secure and FPT in Ho Chi Minh City, the economic center of the southern of Vietnam. And we got a very good traction from the media and society. So far, we got 40,000 engagement and 1.5 million views regarding this launching event. And after the launching event, we also conducted a series of training for our sales members across the country from the north to the south. We're also providing support model, effectively support our people as well as our customers. For example, chatbot, voice bot, email system, of course, and we're also sharing a lot of tips and the guidance how to best use the product over the social network. So far, after 3 months of launching, we got a quite positive result, and we are seeing the 15% increase in terms of our brands after we launched F-Safe product in Vietnam. And more importantly, we are seeing 96% of the customer who've been using F-Safe so far, they say that they're totally satisfied with the product. Clearly, after 3 months, we also learned several lessons. The good thing we've been watching is after thorough and careful preparation, we got a very good launching activity which attract a lot of momentum from the society, from the community. But at the same time, we are seeing in order to boost up rapidly the sales activity, we still need more activity to create awareness to the environment, to the society regarding protecting their own data when they get online. So looking to the future, first of all, we are so happy, and once again, thanks very much to FSecure to give us a chance to collaborate together. We are so happy with FSec product so far, and we are looking forward to further expansion of our collaboration. Namely, number one, we consider to bring FSec to not only B2C customer, but also B2B customer. And secondly, we've been discussing together with FSecure in process of updating new features according to the development roadmap of FSecure Sense product. So far, this is the brief of mine regarding our experience working with FSecure in launching FSec product in Vietnam so far. So thank you very much for your attention, and please feel free to let me know if you have any comments or questions. Thank you very much.
Internet thì giờ đã có FSec nào, nhà phải có thổ địa, bếp phải có bình ga. Internet thì giờ đã có FSec nào.
I love it. What an amazing way to end the performance of the species talk here, FPT Telecom in Vietnam. Thank you so much. Wow, I love it. Now, on to our final case study coming from Comhem and Tele2 in Sweden. Hanna Andreasson is the product manager for value-added services. And in the past year, they've launched an initiative called F-Secure Safe 5i, which has enabled them to take a stand on protecting children's digital lives. Here to tell us more about what that means, I give to you Hanna Andreasson. Hanna, välkommen till Species 21.
Tack Magnus. So, hello everybody. My name is Hanna Andreasson, and I am the product manager for value-added services at Tele2 Group in Sweden. I will today present to you the launch campaign we did for the new Safe 5i version last year for the Comhem brand in our portfolio. The focus of the campaign was mainly on the new content filtering service with VPN technology for children. And I will talk you through about how we did it and why we did it. And my hope is that you will find it interesting to get some insight into our media strategy, which turned out to exceed expected targets. Maybe our approach can give you some ideas on how you might apply a similar launch on your market. And just to avoid any confusion, we have just recently merged the Comhem brand with the Tele2 brand, but the campaign we talk about today was done during the time when Comhem still was an existing brand. So just to give you a short background to why we did this campaign. At Tele2, we have high ambitions when it comes to ensuring safety for children online. And this is one out of 4 areas in our sustainability strategy. We see 2 ways of protecting children in a connected society. The first one being providing technical solutions to make it possible to protect children against inappropriate content online. And the second one is behavioral, to provide up-to-date expert advice and information to support parents and children in preventing physical and mental harm caused by using connected devices. Another thing to why this is important to us is due to the fact that we have non-profit organizations, NPOs, such as Porn-Free Childhood Organization. These organizations expect that the telecom operators in Sweden will take responsibility and offering customers sufficient solutions and educate. Besides that, this is an important part for our sustainability strategy. The specific goal of this campaign was to build long-term positive brand value and strengthen our position as a reliable premium brand. So, looking into the Swedish market a bit. In Sweden, almost all children and youth are frequent users of internet. And I'm not sure how it looks on your markets, but in Sweden, it is even more common with internet usage among 6-year-olds than it is among 66-year-olds. And today it's not unusual that even small kids have their own mobile phone. On the Swedish market, Apple has a strong penetration on its devices compared to the rest of Europe, with a 50% market share on mobile phone market and as much as 70% market share on tablet market. A problem that arises from this is the limitations of Apple's rigid standards of app development. This leads to that most child protection solutions for iOS can be bypassed, since it's not possible to block unprotected browsers like Safari completely. With a growing base of young people owning their own devices, combined with a high penetration on iOS, the demand for reliable content filtering services on iOS has been increasing in Sweden. Due to this, F-Secure developed a new version of SAFE with VPN technology that controls all network traffic, no matter what browser or operating system the children uses. As a bonus to this, the children also are protected on public open networks. When the new version were ready, we saw the opportunity to act fast and become the first service provider on the Swedish market to offer this version. As a launch offer for the mobile customer base, we decided to bundle the service for free with our mobile child subscription. The SAFE service was a perfect complement to this subscription that already included cost control functionality. We launched the offer with a back-to-school campaign after the summer vacation in Sweden, and we combined this with press release and CRM activities. The feedback we got from the launch was great, and the NPO Porn Free Childhood shared our news on their platform, thrilled about the news. In order to leverage the positive reactions and momentum we got after the initial launch, we decided to add paid media activities to extend our own activities and the organic attention we got around the product. Given the nature of the product, a truly value-adding service with great brand building potential, we chose a rather different media strategy than we usually apply. In this case, we chose influencer marketing and native together with our go-to channel, social media. The purpose of the influencer marketing was to create positive attention through ambassadorship. We used 6 different influencers in the campaign. Each influencer gave us 2 posts and 2 stories each. And we got to review everything in beforehand, and it was a bit tricky since the influencers had made videos talking, etc. And we could not make too much adjustments and iterations too many times. So it was important to be clear with instructions about the product and the offer in the beginning. But overall, the influencers wrote great texts describing their personal view on the topic and the service and published very nice pictures. It was also very fun using an influencer campaign. That is not often that you as a telecom operator find a campaign strategy where influencers could be a suitable marketing channel to use. The comments the influencers got from their followers were very, very positive, and many followers praised the collaboration. You could almost think that the comments were paid as well. This campaign went very, very well, and we ended up exceeding our targets with twice as much engagement than expected, with fewer influencers than planned. Unfortunately, we did not find any male influencers that were interested in collaborating, but later on, actually, one male influencer shared another post on his own platform. So it was truly great to see the response from all other followers engaged in this topic. The advertised articles in the newspapers were done with branded pops and articles in a Swedish newspaper network consisting out of 4 newspapers. We chose this type of content display marketing to build in-depth knowledge about the product and to utilize the news value. The campaign presented 2 different articles. One was a deep dive into how to filter out the harmful content on your children's phone. That's the example you see here on the screen. And the other one were focusing on how to limit the screen time for your children. This part of the campaign reached expected targets, and overall we saw a better result on the evening papers compared to the daily, more business-oriented newspapers. And we also actually had some newspapers that chose to write about our launch, even though we haven't paid for it. So I think that says something about the news value of child protection online. The third and last part of the campaign strategy was sponsored posts in Facebook advertising network, with the target group being parents with kids in school age. The purpose of this advertisement was to reach a wider public to add some performance potential to the mix. As you could see, we reached 670,000 people in Sweden, which is quite extensive, living in a country with only 10 million people. The advertisement did also reach their expected target. So to sum up, we did this launch in increments, and we have received such great feedback from both customers and NPOs. Our campaigns met targets as expected and overachieved when it came to influencer marketing. The subject children's safety online is a hot topic that engages a lot of people due to its importance for the well-being of our society. We also got a lot of free publicity thanks to that followers and newspapers shared our story. Overall, the campaign has assumed to have a positive effect on our brand and increased sales on our mobile child subscription. This was an important milestone in our sustainability strategy. However, the work continues. For example, we recently launched the service for the full new Tele2 mobile customer base, and more is definitely to come. Thank you for your time and interest in this very important subject.
Thank you, Comhem and Tele2. That is truly a cause close to every parent's heart. Now, we're going to take a 3-minute bio break, wherein I shall pour myself a good cup of coffee. So see you back here in 3 minutes.
There's a heavy weight you've been trying to hold on to, but you can lay it all down with me, 'cause in the end I'm just trying to show you, you don't need more pain and misery. And baby, 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 you gotta hold on to what we got and give me, give me, give me all of your love, all of your love. Yeah, baby, 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 you gotta hold on to what we got and give me, give me, give me all of your love, all of your love. 'Cause me and you, we got a good thing going. Don't cast it off. Just let this love keep showing. Yeah. You say you're tired and you're growing weary. I'm here to give you everything you need. Your heartaches and pain will all heal with time, girl. Your love is mine if we plant the seed. And baby, 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 you gotta hold on to what we got and give me, give me, give me all of your love, all of your love. Yeah, baby, baby, baby.
Come to think of it, I don't really feel like coffee anymore. But I do feel like listening to the panel. Paul Palmer and partners will talk about collaboration to offer the best experience. Welcome, Paul Palmer and partners.
Thank you, Magnus. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session, which is all about the value and importance of partnerships and collaboration. My name is Paul Palmer, and I'm the Vice President of Business Development within the Consumer Business Unit. We'll have a panel discussion shortly to discuss industry trends and why collaboration and partnerships are key in delivering compelling services to you and your end customers. But I'd like to take a few moments to touch on some of our key highlights from the last year, based on the overview that Christian went through at the beginning of the event. We're evolving our portfolio to create a more seamless, single app security experience with Total, bringing all our portfolio capabilities into one modular offering, providing online security and privacy, identity protection, and finally connected home security. From our own research, we can see that consumers value all-in-one protection, and expanding to a holistic proposition can offer significant uplift in your ARPUs. In 2020, we also won AV-Test Best Protection Award again, and we're the only vendor who's won this award 7 years out of the last 10. This is a result of continuous investment in R&D to provide the best levels of protection to your customers. In the last 12 months, we've worked hard to build our ecosystem partnerships to complement our comprehensive consumer cybersecurity offering, and we'll be joined by 3 of those new partners in our panel discussion shortly. Our 3-layer strategy has been complemented by the introduction of DNS security with our partner Wellbone. We're now able to create a seamless, secure, end-to-end user experience, no matter where our end customer is, with DNS security providing baseline protection on the network. And for ID protection, we're introducing restoration and insurance capabilities through partnerships to deliver a more comprehensive offering to your customers, so that when data breaches occur, customers can call us up to get help to resolve issues related to data breaches and account takeovers, and we can offer protection for any losses incurred based on the insurance provided. We've also clarified Sense and made it compatible with more routers, chipsets, and manufacturers, and are collaborating with various partners to provide flexibility for you as a service provider to take your chosen proposition to the market. Along with this clarification, we are bringing important data analytics for you to see how your customers are being protected, and for example, see how the devices in the home are being used. With partners like AirTies, we can together deliver a best-of-breed secure and smart Wi-Fi offering. And with Incognito, we can offer a solution that can be deployed, managed, and updated easily by Incognito's platform, taking away any concerns you might have with regards to lifecycle management. And with Kaon, we're able to deploy Sense as a container onto Kaon's platforms. We've also been contributing to open standards initiatives such as the Purple Foundation and Broadband Forum to ensure that the ecosystem benefits from our security pedigree and experience. Through all of this, partnerships are absolutely critical, and so we're delighted to be joined today by our partners to discuss how they see the connected home opportunity going forward. I'd now like to introduce you to our panelists, Bart, Carlos, and Gary. So Bart, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. Thanks for having us. My name is Bart Verkammen, Executive Vice President in AirTies and responsible for the software product line.
Thank you. And Carlos?
Thanks, Paul. Hello all. My name is Carlos Santos. I'm the head of products for Kaon Media in Europe, responsible for the product definition and business development. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And Gary?
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having us here today. My name is Gary Nee. I'm the head of product and professional service for Incognito Software Systems.
Okay, let's get started. So, Bart, what would you say is happening, the major events that are happening within the Wi-Fi space right now?
Well, it has been an interesting, let's say, 1 year and a bit of more than 1 year. When the pandemic started, it changed a lot of things on smart Wi-Fi, both for the consumer as for the ISP side. I think on the consumer side, I think 2 things mainly changed. I think first of all, on the expectation of the consumer, everybody being stuck at home for a long while, and even some were working from home, children at home, has raised the bar in terms of expectations from consumers on smart Wi-Fi. It became from something that was an essential service to, let's say, to have good internet and good coverage, and something that was what was still seen as a bit premium, towards, let's say, a very basic need that has become, let's say, almost standard as part of the broadband offerings, and is a way to differentiate, and expectations have greatly risen because of that. I think that's the first thing that happened on the consumer side. Secondly, a bit in contradiction to that, is that due to the pandemic, not only the usage of Wi-Fi has increased in the home by people sitting at home, working from home, and doing more from home as well, but by the same virtue of the fact that more and more people are at home, basically the available capacity in the home has greatly reduced, with as a result of that the problems on Wi-Fi have increased without doing anything. So in a standard situation of before, not only expectations have gone up, but contradictory as well, your standard quality without doing anything would have gone down because your capacity is low. That has created more issues, and for the operator has made things on one hand more interestingly because it became more important, but on the other side made life more difficult. Not only because there were more issues, on the other side with people being at home, we've seen in certain countries that physical truckloads was not possible, help desk got flooded at the beginning of the pandemic. So we see an increased demand and rate for doing more, what I would call diagnostics, seeing what's wrong, how we can help end users, how operators can help end users, and how operators can help themselves with self-care and without avoiding the help desk calls.
Okay, great. And Carlos, obviously connectivity is key. What are the big trends from the router industry perspective that you're seeing, and how do you see that playing towards value-added services as well?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Good question, right? So, I mean, looking a little bit to the concept of the CPE of the router, right? So I think it's clear today that, the concept of the CPE as, a black box is longer gone. So looking from an OEM perspective, we see three main active work streams. So number one is what we call hardware diversity. So we see operators demanding a future-proof device that brings flexibility and with a modular approach to couple with a multi-access network, and at the same time enables a dynamic and in-home ecosystem, right? So this is point number one. The second one is standardization, definitely, right? So a unified software solution that optimize feature utilization and give back the control to operators, allowing what we call a flexible management and support enabling. So no more the concept of the software lock-in. And the third element, which is driven and part of the discussion today, is the service orchestration with the uplift of the CPE App Store, right? So operators more and more, they want to monetize to the maximum the hardware that is already available in the customer premises. So introducing new services following the hardware diversity and the standardization drivers, this is key. This is also very tight related to the best customer experience and user experience, that the operators are giving to the user. So pretty much what I'm saying here is that operators are putting, for the first time, for a long time now, customers in the center of the in-home connectivity.
Thank you, Carlos. And then Gary, from a remote management perspective, how do you see things playing out and being able to manage the CPEs remotely and delivering value-added services to the customers?
Thanks, Paul. As people continue to work from home, they learn online, they stream from connected devices, digital has really become our new way of life. Our always-on, give me now society cannot wait for extended times to have service enabled onto their gateways. Time for operators to be able to provide flexible solutions to manage demand is now, and it must be done in real time. Ensuring reliable broadband performance and ability to provide innovative services beyond connectivity to residential and business Wi-Fi customers has become critical for service providers in order to provide the customer experience which is expected by today's consumers. Our digital Experience platform provides service providers greater insight into the network and services via unified digital care channels. It includes data analytics, monitoring, and providing clients as well as their operations teams insight into what is going on in the customer's networks. This enables them to proactively improve the user experience, reduce operational costs, and accelerate innovation around broadband services.
Thanks, Gary. So, Bart, when we start looking at synergies between, smart Wi-Fi and security, how do you see, that playing out, and what do you see are the important aspects for the service providers when considering those two?
Well, it's a very interesting point, which might seem not obvious, but I think from a technology perspective, I think there's convergence and complementarity between security and Wi-Fi to a number of aspects. I think if we look at the rise of more algorithms, machine learning, and AI that happens on the smart Wi-Fi domain, having a better insight of what is in the home and all the characteristics in there becomes more and more important to have more fine-grained learning. And a subpart of security being device identification plays a complementary part in both worlds there. It's the basis for security, but also starts to become more and more a fundament of what smart Wi-Fi needs for learning and AI and so on going forward. So I think there's a complementarity from a technology perspective. I think from a service perspective to consumers and for operators, I think the first service has been smart Wi-Fi. It's now massively being rolled out as almost a standard package. Operators have invested in it. The systems have integrated into all the IT systems. There's an app that is there that gives access to the consumers to manage them, smart Wi-Fi in the home and so on. What we see is that security becomes a second service on that, while smart Wi-Fi has almost evolved to a basic service, a basic need. The next service upcoming is security, where I think the operators start to invest in. So, and I think what is important there is that there needs to be a common proposition and a common user experience on various levels. For the consumer side, it's important. It doesn't make sense. The consumer does not want an app for Wi-Fi. He does not want an app for security. He wants a single user experiencing that is blending everything that security offers and what smart Wi-Fi offers. And even more, makes the best of both worlds and makes a 1+1 offering of use cases of what is possible. Similarly for the operator, typically in the history of smart Wi-Fi, IT integration in networks can take a long time. Also for app deployments and so on, it's basically not easy. It takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort on every party to have that integrated. They have done that investment on smart Wi-Fi, and what we typically see there is that the more they can leverage and bank on that previous integration, by making the proposition of adding security a smooth add-on and making it easy from an experience in terms of billing, IT, customer care, app, and so on, makes that central point an easy add-on becomes important as well. So I see these in terms of proposition and user experience for both ends, these things converging. And I think security is next and probably other services will follow later.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. And obviously we've got the joint project we're doing together with your Vision app. So
yeah, correct.
We agree with you on that. And then Carlos, I mean, from a router perspective, I mean, how do you see, security playing into that, and what does that mean for K-On in terms of being able to deliver security services to the customers on your platforms?
Security, and giving you the angle here of the OEM, right? So security is definitely on the heart of what we as an OEM do, right? So positioning a closed and secure box to the operators that can be massive deployed towards customers' household, guaranteeing their privacy, their security, you name it, right? So here we focus mainly on the hardware and what we call the low-level component integration. So now and recently, and maybe exponentialized by the pandemic situation, we see definitely a major demand to bring the customer-friendly cybersecurity concept to the hands of users, right? So this is very similar to what Bart just mentioned, right? So more people working from home, more devices connected, more exposed risks. We see a move definitely from operators to shift from what we call a reactive approach to a preventive and active detection-based model, right? So, and this is why I personally believe that the partnership that we are doing with F-Secure, but not only with F-Secure, actually with everyone involved in this session, is key and unique as it addresses the operator needs to have a tangible, flexible, and proven solution, easily deployed, and I stress the word easily, that can be at the same time, that at the same time can bring a joint commercial revenue model, right? So as mentioned, the CPE is no longer a black box. Yeah, there is this emerging or convergency, if you want to use this word, security market ecosystem for the home connectivity. And this is how CPEs are evolving in this domain. At least this is our vision.
Like a service delivery platform almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Carlos. And Gary, from a management platform perspective, I mean, how do you see security and the role you have to play?
Cybersecurity is a significant concern in today's marketplace. Consumers expect service providers to deliver a secure solution that protects all the devices within the home or business, along with all of the sensitive data that it is exposed to. We have a special interest group of North American operators working on solving tough connected home device management challenges. When we surveyed the SIG, it was clear that this was a high priority feature and critical to mass adoption of their solutions. In addition, there's a rising awareness from consumers to regulators that many IoT devices are not secure and pose a threat to their private information, which must be resolved. In the UK, the government is working on a plan to eliminate weak passwords, and we're confident other governments will follow suit and possibly expand on those plans. Traditionally, consumers would install antivirus on their devices, typically compute platforms, but with some operators in 2020 reporting up to 30 connected devices per home, ranging from smartphones and tablets to security systems, this is no longer practical. A new approach is needed. The Wi-Fi gateway is ideally positioned to provide all of the security features that are required to protect and secure consumers' sensitive data. We have developed a security solution in partnership with F-Secure to rapidly cover all devices within the home, which is easy to install and maintain across a wide variety of gateway platforms.
Thank you. And I'm now going to ask you all to, look in your crystal balls in front of you, and give us some insights as to what you think might be coming in the future. And I'm actually shift it around a little bit here and ask Carlos to go first.
Sure. So it's not an easy question. There is definitely, a single straightforward answer, right? So, I mean, based on what we see in the market, and we talk daily with a lot of operators, not only Europe, but across the globe, right? We see pretty much three main elements or services, if you want to call them, driving the market dynamics, right? So one, managed Wi-Fi. So it's almost becoming a commoditized service. Second one is driven by the video industry. Yeah, so how to deliver, high rates video streams over IP. Yeah, that has a direct consequence to the broadband, into the router. And the third element is definitely cybersecurity. So I think here, these are the three main elements driving the streams. Now, what we have seen last year is also amazing. And once again, using the pandemic situation as a good way of assessing the market and seeing how people are moving. Yeah. So what we see is that connected home devices have doubled. Average per home device type is around 10. I think this was the number shared by Broadband Forum. And we truly expect that this is, the tip of the iceberg, as we expect this to grow maybe 3, 4, 5 times more. So the market must and will address for sure the connected home as never, and they will carefully listen and understand users and customers' demands. Once again, putting the users and the customers in the center of what everyone is doing. Yeah, this is why the market, our opinion is it will mainly focus on seamless customer experience and user experience, right? I mean, Bart was giving the perfect example. I don't want an app for security services, and I don't want an app for managed Wi-Fi. Yeah, so we need to converge all of these elements, just giving here the example to be more tangible. And the other element here is, I think, also linked to, for example, what Incognito is doing is data collection, enabled by the differentiator, through services enablement across Wi-Fi, smart home, and security are definitely key. I truly believe that, we are one step closer to this, concept of virtualization. And I know this word can scare a lot of people, but we see this, yeah. So that is my vision.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. And Gary, how about yourself? What's your crystal ball showing you?
Paul, to be honest, crystal ball is a little foggy these days. But what we are seeing in the market is the advent of not only new use cases, but also new standards to support them. The advent of the user services platform stands to be a game changer for the broadband industry. USP is the next generation standards-based platform that enables faster, more efficient, and reliable monitoring, controlling and management of connected devices and Wi-Fi networks in real time. According to the Broadband Forum survey, USP technology is seen as a key development to help operators develop managed Wi-Fi services and improve Wi-Fi optimization, run virtualized services on widely available low-cost CPE devices, and deliver smart home and IoT managed services that all consumers demand. Operators need to adopt a device managed solution which builds upon the latest standards and integrates with USP Now. The Incognito Digital Experience solution supports the Broadband Forum's User Services Platform standard. Our solution offers unified support for residential and IoT device management with USP controller capability for next generation TR369 compatible devices. It's clear from the operators we are working with, we are doing trials in North America and Europe, that the majority will have CPE solutions deployed for security and Wi-Fi management in the near term, built around open standards. And with open standards comes industry collaboration. We have great examples of this with the Smart Home Services integrated solution built on open standards that Incognito, F-Secure, Domus, and KM can demonstrate. Proof of concept in Europe with Domus and KM will be starting soon. Wi-Fi traffic prioritization on a service level, giving priority to Zoom or Teams over Netflix or other low priority applications. With F-Secure and KM, we are trying security applications. This will enable protection within the home network for all devices, all IoT, and not just the core devices such as laptops. Ability to monitor and act upon threats within the home network, detect unusual IP or port activity, could indicate that there is a compromised device. As Carlos mentioned earlier, application distribution will be via an app store-like infrastructure for CPE. Additional use cases are evolving with operators, which include speed tests, ad blocking, and parental controls, just to name a few.
Hey, thanks, Gary. Really good insights. And Bart, you want to wrap up on this one?
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what has been said because a number of things I concur with on a number of these topics. Yeah. I'll try to add a few. I think I want to chime in on the data analytics that Carlos was saying. What I see already start happening now in a lot of interactions that we have with our customers is that basically the conclusion pre-pandemic was from a lot of operators like everybody think they knew the consumer. And in reality, everybody in the industry has to realize that there is more that we can learn from the consumer of what it is. And that means, in my opinion, taking more decisions based on data. What do we really see? And not on anecdotal evidence. I see in home X that this is happening, so this is a big problem, or this is let's say it's an element of something. What does it mean on a big scale, on a population-wide? What is happening? What has impact? What is driving costs? What is driving adoption? What is driving churn? What is driving loyalty from customers? What is driving their NPS scores? We see more and more conversations happening towards that in helping to investigate how these things drive and how these things evolve. So I think that's the first thing. I think we'll see new services popping up that we didn't think of. I think that's the first comment. If I get more concrete on adding to the ones that have already been mentioned, I think I see a resurrection of what was talked about X amount of years ago about assisted living, elderly care. I see these things popping up again on one hand. And then I think I see a massive shift related to user experience and expectations from consumers when it goes about 5G and fixed convergence. 5G is there to come and there to stay. whether it's going to replace a number of the fixed line things or not, okay, I'll leave it up for the specialists to answer whether it is going to evolve, but it's going to be there. And consumers are going to expect a seamless experience, whether it's over 5G or over fiber or anything else. I think these things will going to match. And these, I think, are also services, I think, that will start to arise in my view.
Cool. So just wrapping up, I guess, just want to thank you guys for your views and your inputs. Really great insights you've shared with us today. So Bart, Carlos and Gary, I really would like to thank you for joining us today for this panel discussion. And I'm sure our service provider partners will really appreciate the feedback you've given today and the comments and insights you've shared with us. And on that note, any of our partners that want to know more about what we're doing with AirTies or Kaon or Incognito, please do reach out to us and we'd be happy to share more details about the various activities and collaborations we have going on together between us. And thank you very much for listening to this session. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for a great panel. It reminds me of what Krisu said earlier today. In the end, it's all about collaboration. So, feel free to copy, borrow, steal, or reach out to any of the speakers you've heard here today. That's what Species is ultimately all about. Now it's time for me to introduce the Chief Research Officer from F-Secure. I'm talking, of course, about Mikko Hyppönen. You know as well as I that his talks are always wildly inspirational and insightful. So without further ado, I'm happy to introduce my friend, mighty Mikko Hyppönen.
Thanks for joining us. During the 30 years that I've been at F-Secure, I've learned a few lessons about information security. Lessons like that users will always do the wrong thing and click on the wrong link, and it's really hard and expensive to patch. But one of the more core lessons I've learned is that complexity is the enemy of security. The more complex our systems are, the harder they are to secure. And this used to be the case just for our computers, but nowadays, as you know, everything is becoming a computer. Everything is becoming smart. Everything gets connected to the internet. And it's not just the smart devices that bothers me, even the stupid devices will be online. And when technology becomes good enough, useful enough, the thing is that we, as a society, we don't want to live without it anymore. Eventually, we can't live without it. This has happened with every important technology. For example, with electricity. Electricity is nowadays so commonplace, we don't even think about it, but it hasn't been around for that long. And today, if we have a nationwide blackout, of course, everything stops. Gladly, when we have blackouts, they are not very long. But imagine if they were. Imagine if there's a blackout for days or weeks or months. Our societies would crumble. We wouldn't be able to move, to communicate, to make food, to do anything at all. That's how reliant we are for that technology. And the same thing is now underway of happening with connectivity. Eventually, internet connectivity is going to be as important as electricity. Today, when we have an internet outage, it's inconvenient. It could be expensive, but it's not going to shut down our society. Eventually, it will. Eventually, it's going to shut down our society just as well as an electricity cut shuts down our society. That's what's going to happen. It's not happening yet, but in 10, 20, 30 years, that's where we will be. And it's all about the complexity around us. Everything is becoming more complex. The more code we have, the more room we have for errors. The more layers of protocols, of code, of systems, of features, the more there are bugs. You see, All of these things are being written by humans. Human programmers write all this code around us. And you know what humans make? Humans make mistakes. And when a programmer makes a mistake, that's a bug. And when you have a bug on interconnected systems, it becomes a vulnerability which can be exploited. And a good illustration on how we're adding this complexity is the fact that Windows 10, the latest offering from Microsoft, is 1,000 times larger than Windows 95. It's 1,000 Windows 95s. In fact, I spoke to Microsoft coders about the size of the building environment where they build new versions of Windows 10. That consists of 5.7 million source code files. I'm not speaking about 5.7 million lines of code. No. This is 5.7 million files. The complexity just boggles the mind. And if we agree that complexity is the enemy of security, then the fix should be really easy. We should be reducing complexity. We should be removing new features in every new release of every operating system, every application, and every mobile app. But that's not what we're doing. In fact, we're doing exactly the opposite. We're adding new features. Everything is becoming bigger and more complex. We're sort of shooting ourselves in the foot. That's what we're doing. And this requirement of everything to be always online is getting closer and closer. We saw a small example of this late last year. This here is a map of Amazon Web Services availability zones. AWS, that's the biggest cloud service on the planet. And this right here, this is US East 1, one of the data centers run by Amazon. And they had an outage because of blackout problems in that data center last year. End result of that outage was that people were not able to vacuum their homes, because Roombas need an internet connectivity. And people were not able to operate their doorbells. This is the bright future of everything online. This is where we are going today. Connectivity is going to be exactly as important as electricity. Eventually, when we get internet outages, it's going to cut power. Of course, today it already works the other way around. If you have a power outage, you're going to also lose internet connectivity. Eventually, an internet outage will also cut power. That's the future where we are headed. And all this connectivity shows up in surprising places. It shows, for example, in our cars. Now, we all know what in-app purchases are. These are the things we see in our mobile applications. For example, you can buy diamonds inside a game so you can use them in a gameplay. Well, this functionality of in-app purchases is now actually reality in our cars. When you drive a new BMW or a new Skoda, it might offer you to sell you new features, including safety features like automated high beam lights as an in-app purchase. So when you buy your car, you get the car and then you can add on new features by buying them in an online service. And I'm sure that's a great initiative from the point of view of the car manufacturers, but I'm not sure if it's that great from the point of view of us consumers. And one of the main reasons why everything is going online is a reason you've heard. Data is the new oil. It's the old saying about how information is becoming more valuable. And this is true. Data is valuable, not just because you can use it for ads, but also because you need to have data to do machine learning. You have to teach the machines with something, and for that you need data. This is the reason why more and more devices are going online. But data isn't just oil or money. It's also a liability. The more data you collect, the more data you have to be able to secure. The more data you have to be able to store, to keep encrypted, to keep backed up, but still keep secured and available. And this is a huge challenge. And we see this with every new data leak. And there are so many data leaks to choose from. You might remember the case of Cambridge Analytica from 5 years ago. Back then, Facebook ran this full-page ad in dozens of different newspapers around the world saying that if we can't secure your data, we don't deserve it. Well, we know what happened since. Just a couple of months ago, we saw the massively large data leak from Facebook. The data leak of 533 million user accounts. This data right here. Now, this contained a lot of different kinds of information, but almost all of that was public information. The information that people posted on the internet by themselves. But if you pay attention, this is phone numbers. Now, many people might not care about their phone numbers. After all, we've had phone books for ages. But this contains information from celebrities, from people with abusive spouses, from law enforcement officers, people who really don't want their phone number on the public internet, and it's there in the public internet right now. This is the problem of data. It's not just something valuable, it is also a liability. And big part of this data ends up on these services when people upload their phone books or their contacts, their address book onto these services. Don't do that. Do not upload your address book to social media sites. Do not upload your address book to different applications. Don't do it even if they demand it. It's not your data. Your address book is not your data. The data in your address book is other people's data. You don't have the right to share it. This is one of the core problems we have. And of course, these applications and social media sites and websites absolutely like to have that data. But it's not just about technology. It's also about the users. As we've learned during the pandemic year, users are easy to fool. When you somehow confuse users or scare them, they are not really paying attention to what's happening. They will think that something weird is going on and then they can be fooled. Say basic psychological tricks. And when user is fooled, he's not thinking straight. And the attackers know this. They know this. That's why they are able to fool users to pay attention to the wrong thing. Users click on the wrong link, end up getting owned. Basic psychological tricks. And when we speak about victims of ransomware operations, well, you might know this game. Cyberpunk 2077, one of the hit games of the year. What you might not know is that CD Projekt Red is the company behind this game. It's a Polish company, and they were hit with a massively large ransomware operation right as they were in the middle of releasing this game. This is the kind of attacks we see, where attackers look for companies which are especially vulnerable for disruptions of their services. And the gangs that are behind these attacks, they make a lot of money. We know this because we have an idea about the size of the ransoms they are collecting, and we've also been following the money flow in the blockchain wallets used by these attackers. But here's a good example on just how much money they are making. The clip you're seeing here was shared by the Ukrainian police force as they are raiding the home of the ringleader of the Imotet gang. That's a gang which has been involved with multiple different ransomware operations. You can see the police here counting the cash belonging to the team, and these here, well, these are gold bars. This is how much money they've been making. So yes, crime does pay. Good news is, sometimes criminals get caught. And this is the work we are trying to do together with you, to protect our end users, the companies, the corporations, against attacks like these. And when we do our job right, when you do your job right, the end result is that nothing happens. No outbreak, no data leak, no data breach. When we do our job right, nobody even notices that we did anything. But the most important thing we have to do is to reduce complexity. Complexity is the enemy of security. The simpler the systems are, the easier they are to defend. The simpler our management systems are to secure these networks, the easier it is for you to do your job. This is the reason why we've put so much effort into F-Secure Elements. Simplifying security for us, for you, and for your clients. Thank you.
What a fantastic talk by Mikko, and what a fantastic F-Secure Species 21. I want to thank you for having been a part of it, and I hope you and I will meet someday again in the future. Here, to close things off, I'd like to give the floor back to Krisu.
Thank you, Mikko. Great keynote on how complexity is the enemy of security. So there is a lot of value in offering a holistic solution in a simple and seamless way, collaborating with you, service providers, and our partners. Special thanks for everyone presenting today, our service provider partners presenting those amazing success stories, and our technology partner panelists. And thank you, Magnus, for hosting this event. Species and our service provider business is all about collaboration and growing together. So thank you all for the great collaboration. We will continue working hard to keep on earning your trust. I hope to be able to see you all face to face too. Thank you.